the question from my side is,
Yeah.
uh, because I think when you are taking sessions like different tutors, and for you almost similar kind of learners you come across on daily basis, a number of learners on daily basis, and everybody is battling with the same situation or the limitation or the problem or the issues. And that one thing, the crux of this everything is that the people who are living in a kind of, we all are Indians, we are living in a kind of, because English is not our first language, and
Exactly.
whether
Exactly.
somebody is Punjabi or somebody is Tamil or somebody is Haryanvi
Yeah.
or whatever, everybody is having the same kind of issues, that most of the time we are surrounded with our regional language. Then
Yeah.
how to excel in this language like English. My question to you is, my dear, that you also, when you started your journey, okay, because English is also not your first language,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so far as my information which I could collect from your profile is that you have, if you have completed your graduation, it is I think in political science or something like
Yes.
that, isn't it?
Yes.
It is not
Yes.
English. It is not English. So
Yes.
at that point of time in your life, were you so could you converse so well in English, or at some point of time you had passed through the similar kind of situation we are battling with at the moment?
Perfect. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm perfectly fine.
Okay. Perfect. So let's start the session. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
okay.
yes.
We'll start with introducing ourselves. You will introduce yourself. I'll introduce myself, and then we'll go ahead with the topic.
Yeah, I would also like to give you my brief description, because otherwise, uh, in all the sessions, it's a kind of ritual, and one productive part of the session goes away with just, when I
Yeah.
booked my session with you, and the main reason was that I want to talk to Angel. So,
Yeah.
Angel means I really want to talk to an angel. Not a person, an ordinary person. So this was, I was just scrolling down because I came across your name for the first time. Okay.
Okay.
Might be you have joined this platform recently. And another reason could have been that I have been on different platforms, though I have taken already many sessions on English Yaari platform as well, but your name came my way for the first time. So I thought,
Actually,
okay, because I went through your profile and I got to know you are very young student, still studying,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
just finally I, stumbled upon that name, Angel. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk to Angel this time.
Very sweet to choose my thing because of my name, but yeah. So I've been on this platform for 1.5 years now, and usually
Ah,
I think, yeah, I think usually we might have not met because in between I was not taking sessions. I was
hmm,
occupied with something else. I work, so I was busy
ah,
with that. On top of that,
hmm,
I don't usually take these hours. I was usually taking around 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., or I was
okay,
taking
hmm,
it
hmm,
like very early comparatively. So maybe because
hmm.
of that. But I'm happy to meet you. Yeah, and I look forward to meet you again. Yeah.
Sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
My name is Angel Kaur Arora. I am from New Delhi and I teach English as well as French. So because I have
Hmm,
learned a third language myself, so somewhere, it is easier for me to understand people when, they say that okay, it is not in my environment. Now what are the ways, I can help them with to put that language in their own environment and how to learn it easily. So,
hmm.
yes. Yeah.
Now, first of all, the question from my side is,
Yeah.
uh, because I think when you are taking sessions like different tutors, and for you almost similar kind of learners you come across on daily basis, a number of learners on daily basis, and everybody is battling with the same situation or the limitation or the problem or the issues. And that one thing, the crux of this everything is that the people who are living in a kind of, we all are Indians, we are living in a kind of, because English is not our first language, and
Exactly.
whether
Exactly.
somebody is Punjabi or somebody is Tamil or somebody is Haryanvi
Yeah.
or whatever, everybody is having the same kind of issues, that most of the time we are surrounded with our regional language. Then
Yeah.
how to excel in this language like English. My question to you is, my dear, that you also, when you started your journey, okay, because English is also not your first language,
Yes,
and
yes,
so far as my information which I could collect from your profile is that you have, if you have completed your graduation, it is I think in political science or something like
yes,
that, isn't it?
yes,
It is not
yes,
English, it is not English. So
yes.
at that point of time in your life, were you so could you converse so well in English, or at some point of time you had passed through the similar kind of situation we are battling with at the moment?
Okay.
And if so, then did you make all the efforts deliberately, that like when you were to go to the university or the college and you used to chat with your friends only in English, or anything else? Because
Okay.
otherwise theoretically I have all the knowledge, we all the learners have, you know, we know
Yeah.
how to excel in communication skills or in this language.
Right.
What was your situation or your take when you planned of or you thought of, okay, I love this language, or I want to pursue this field in my future as a professional or as a teacher tutor on this platform? How did you start your journey,
Uh,
Angel? Just
yes.
your experience.
So the thing is that I come from, first of all, in Delhi, you'll find a lot of people either talking in English or Hindi, right? On top of that, I went to an English medium school. So in starting, it was very difficult. I remember till fifth, sixth, I used to not speak much because I was not comfortable with the language, right? But then in my school, there was that rule that you have to talk. Like once a week, whole day you're supposed to talk in English. You would not use any other language. So
Mm,
gradually, I started, getting a hang of it. Slowly, when everyone has different type of intelligence. According to psychology, there's not one intelligence. It's not like okay, someone is intelligent, they would be good in everything. So,
mm,
I am more of a person who tends to pick up languages easily. Okay, that is my strong point. So slowly, when I was my language slowly, because obviously in school you're talking, then you're meeting a lot of people every day who are talking in the same language. You need this language because you have to write all these exams in English, and you do not have 500, 1,000 word for every question normally. It's just you have to mold the language. To mold the language, you have to know the language, no matter whichever subject you're using it in. Then when I pursued French, mainly I was pursuing French, I was very clear I want to do French. Pole science was always that side by side thing that I'll do it. But when I went in French and I started teaching French. Now when you have to teach a language, you also have to know their language, what other people are comfortable in. So for me, it was not just English. My Hindi has to be clear. I teach so many, international students sitting in Canada for they want to do French. Now some of them want to do, understand better in Punjabi. So I have to be, I have to go to that depth where I am very clear with the language part. Okay, this exact meaning goes in this. So slowly, my language part, when it comes to English, it was good. It started developing more because I was teaching French, right? And I started understanding the problems with people when they say that, okay, I don't have this language in my environment. Now, how can I learn? There are tricks to things because any language you learn, there is the same tricks that are used. The more you listen, the more you speak, the more you watch. That is
mm,
how you surround yourself with the language, you learn. So, slowly, I started realizing that. It was always my plan that I want to teach, but it was always that side by side thing that it made. I love talking to new people. I love, sharing. I'm able to connect with them, whether it comes to even English, because somewhere I have had the same journey with another language, right? Where in
mm,
starting you're able to, in starting you are going translating it in your mind. Okay, yeah, what is this, what is this. I have done that with English, I have done that with French, but I have, at this point, I've overcome that thing. When it comes to one language, at least French, it still happens a bit that I go from English to French, which will take time for me, you know. So yeah, and then last year when I was on this platform, and it is fun, it's genuinely so nice to talk to new people and to know their journey, and you get inspired. You're like, okay, wow, for all, my own grandma, great grandmother, she was 80 and she was learning English because she really wanted to do it.
Mm.
So
Nice.
yeah, so then last year I also did a TEFL course, which is teaching English as a foreign language, so that
Mm.
I'm also able to be a bit more of a help in it. So yes, that is it. I hope it answers your question.
Teaching English as a foreign language.
Yeah, it's a
I
certificate.
you
Yes,
have mentioned this thing. Okay. So
yes.
is it a some specific course, or is there some different strategies that when you want to become a teacher, then you have to take the language in a different way? And when somebody is learning, who is a learner like me, and there is different strategy for the similar language,
See,
like, so you had been throughout your uh, student life, you have studied through English medium, so that way English was not had never never could have never been the problem for you. It was never a problem for you, right?
yeah.
But what specific thing you learned when you did this thing, teaching
See,
English
yes.
as
Okay,
a
I'll tell you what.
hmm,
Ma'am, the thing is that English remains the same, right? Topics remains the same, right? For no matter whatever, either you're teaching a kid or someone elder to you. One thing is that the younger you are, it the the easier it is for grasping a new language. Okay, that is the main reason why, when they give you a third language, they give you in fourth, fifth, or sixth, because the sooner you learn, the better it is for you,
hmm,
right? So when it comes to these courses, they just help you to tell you how to make a class engaging. Yes, you need the certificate when you go into teaching lines. If there is a specific, like, it is a in-depth, more depth course when you go for a primary teacher, because yes, with kids, somewhere it is not just the topic. You would have to keep their attention span is small. They grasp things easily, but their attention span is very little.
less, yeah.
Yeah. So to keep them engaged, how to do that, how to make a topic interesting, this is something they teach you in that course. Okay.
Hmm.
But for normally, what, yes, the English was, I'll say English was not a problem for me for a long time. I think it was till seventh, eighth, I have struggled. After that, I picked up on it. But the thing is that, there are ways. It is not, maybe what is easier for you might not be easier for someone of your age, right? I am supposed to teach the same topic to you, I'm supposed to teach the same topic to that person. I have learned it from my own experience, how to, deal with others, how everyone's way is different, how I have to change my way of teaching. So, this is something that would a course would never be able to teach. A course won't be able to tell you, okay, every person is different. You might have to mold your way for every student. But tips are the same, topics are the same. It is just you tend to change it according to one person to the other. Like, your spoken English is good, okay? You are able to put your ideas into words, you are able to talk to me, you are able to have a good conversation with me, right? So when let's say if we are talking, and let's say I have you ask me, how can you improve your English? Now your improving English means you have to make it more fluent, and you have to make it vocabulary rich, because your English is good, right? So I have skipped the other tips that was supposed to be followed, because it is step by step. Someone I meet on first step, someone I meet is on fifth step, someone I'll meet is on 10th step. Are you getting my point?
Yeah. Yes. Got
So
it. Mm.
there, And that is something I think that is there for, it is not just with English. I think that is there with every language, every subject.
Everything, yeah. Whatever you want to learn, the same rule applies.
Yeah, because I remember I was in school. My maths is not bad. I've just realized that. But I was always, that I was not really someone confident enough when it comes to subjects, like maths and science. And the way my teachers, I remember my maths teachers have always pulled me down. Because of that, I started hating the subject to a level where I was like, I cannot deal with it. You show me the book, I'll run away.
Hmm.
But it depends. A teacher would play a very big role, because this is how every student is. I think honestly,
Hmm.
everyone is on step. I hope
That's
I answered your question, and I'm not.
that teacher's role is utmost important because it is the teacher only who creates interest for her subject in the students' minds. I think if we all go back to our memory lanes, this is this, like if suppose I have done masters in some subject and similar you did something in your graduation level, whatever. We chose that subject only, which we found very interesting, and that all has could have happened because of the contribution of our teacher, because
That
teachers is very important. It is, I think it's all in the hands of the teachers, like the way you said that different rule applies, you different tricks applies for different persons, because at that time you have to frame or figure out at your own, you have to make your own blueprint according to the person you are dealing with. And so
correct.
that teacher's role is very important, because if there are 40 students in the class and all 40 students belong to different, levels, but I think at that very time, teacher can't go ahead with the 40 different kind of strategies.
Exactly.
Teacher, this is the main, the mantra at that time, I think, in the hands of the teacher is that she should adapt that kind of method, which to some extent applies to all the students. Then out of all those 40 students, how many could become able to grasp whatever the teacher wants to convey, and ultimately we'll end up, you know, like in the sense like okay, this is a subject of my choice, I want to pursue my higher studies in this no, I hate this subject, I don't want to go ahead with this. So somehow the credit or the discredit goes to the teacher only,
Exactly.
I. Mm,
Also, like one more thing. The thing is, yes, a teacher cannot pick 40 different ways of teaching. But how you deal with, okay, everyone will not score good. That is, when you're in a group of class. But
mm,
how you deal with it also matters. Okay, I remember I loved French since sixth grade of me getting it. Seventh, I flunked in it. I failed. My teacher did not demotivate me. She was like, it's
mm,
okay, try again. From 8th, I was like, okay, I have to do it, because first there was that love, second, that was that motivation from the teacher's side, right?
mm, true,
And from
true.
8th till 10th, I was a topper in French. There were days,
Mm,
then till date, I'm in touch with that teacher, because I felt that, yes, that one motivation, or that one, minute of not telling me that it's okay to fail, and it's
mm,
okay, it happens to people, it can make a big difference, you
mm,
know so that so somewhere, now things are changing. Now you do psychology, now you are taught positive reinforcement with kids and negative reinforcement. Everyone is not the same, and now teachers have started adapting to the new culture of teaching. But I think those few things were not there before. For all, TEFL as a course, also, that teaching English as a foreign language, they also teach you the same thing. There is so much about psychology in it, that okay, kids are young, what you have to say would make a big difference. So you have to, how you have to control, and know. I mean, I have so many students who are not on same level when it comes to French. When I teach them, one is scoring 50 out of 100, one is scoring 80 out of 100. I am teaching the same thing, but as per my, me, I am that guide. I am not a teacher. I also make mistakes, I have also been there. So my thing is to just motivate them, that so that they can at least try to do better.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that has to be there in teachers.
100% bang on. Yes, because the teacher is also a human being, and
Exactly.
there's no term like being this exist. I think perfectionist, and there is always scope of making errors, right?
Exactly.
Oh, yes, but the teacher's role is to motivate the students, to encourage them, and to make them understand different things by different. I like the similar thing in a different way, so that the purpose is to create interest in the students' minds.
Exactly. I
Yes.
mean, okay, I would go way far. Yes, the education system is that way, but I feel that I'll talk more about the Indian education system because been in that, studied in there, so connecting it more. But I feel that in Indian education system, now failure is always looked down upon. So
Yeah.
as if as it, you're always told if you fail, you cannot go ahead. You cannot go to another class. You will fail. You will have to your thing. You will always be scared of failures as a human being, so as a school or as a as teachers, it is your duty to teach them about life and how failure is a part of life. It cannot happen. How you can be the greatest of scientists also, you might have failed to achieve something. Albert Einstein might have not gotten where he was without failing, right? It's not like first day he cracked everything out. So somewhere I think that is still something where I think a lot of us have to work on as teachers, that we don't make failure as a big deal. I mean, someone has failed. Just tell them to do better so that they can move on with it.
Actually, in our society, the kind of society we are living in, failure, this word has, it is taken as a stigma in life. Failure
Yeah,
means the person can't do anything in the life. No, even the people who have very successful graph as a professional or during even their student life, they might have earned so many accolades and credentials like anything. But such people I have seen failing. If we have to go after this word fail, failing in actual life when they actually start interacting socially, when they become mature, when they themselves, I have seen, they become parents. So there is no word like failure. Failure, I think it is, we must take it as a stepping stone in the journey of attaining
exactly.
success.
Exactly. I mean, I failed my French exam, like the main exam I had to give on another level. So there are levels in language. I failed
Hmm.
it. Second time I failed, I think it was last month, and I failed by 1 mark. I cried. And my friends were like, listen, you scored 20 last time, you scored 49 this time. They'll just look at your graphs. It's okay, try again. What's the. And I
Yes,
think that has to be there, as parents, as teachers. You need to, let's say, talk about Chandrayaan, that India was successful and landing so successfully, but they failed before. They learned from their own mistakes that okay, this is
yes,
where we have to go, this is what we have to do, this is not what we'll repeat. So failure is how you learn things. That's a fact. And the sooner you teach kids that it is okay, it is a part of life, I think the better and the more confident human being they'll turn into.
yes. Correct. Well said.
Yeah.
Nice. So
Anything else?
else, I was about to ask you the similar thing. Anything else? Any tip you feel like you have been conversing with me for the last 15 or 20 minutes almost? And again, the similar thing, I'm living in a Punjabi environment where once the session is over, I will be back to my mom or to my kids or the rest of the members of the family and conversing them in Punjabi only. At the workplace, even the people who have attained their degrees in English, whenever they come to me or we always talk in Punjabi. This is something very basic. Though theoretically I know what should I do to speed up
Um,
this.
See, if
Yeah,
it's not environment, you will talk in Punjabi, that is okay. You have to create that environment for yourself. How you can do is, again, this is three things. The more you listen, you're already speaking here and you're doing well. You're grammatically fine. You are able to put your ideas into words. You are able to have a full-fledged conversation. So, you should not be worried about the conversation part. You are doing it here, right? But if you want to enhance your vocabulary, if you want to polish it, watch something with subtitles on. Okay, the more you'll watch, you will start grasping their accent now. Because
Mm.
in India, our English is very clear as a language, because our Hindi is very clear, so we have a very clear tongue, right? But when you talk, if you'll talk to any person sitting anywhere else, they sit US, Australia, Canada, you'll see that language has a lot of accent in it, and those accents are very different, and sometimes it's difficult to understand. Now that will come only when you listen to such accents, and when you actually pay attention to them. So if you like watching something, start watching 2 to 3 minutes of clips, okay, of conversation. There are so many, uh, things you can watch on YouTube that are there. That are there on Netflix if anything picks up your interest. Watch it with subtitle. You'll see that your brain is automatically, subconsciously understanding those accent and pronunciations over time. When you'll watch it with subtitle, after a while, try without subtitle. See if you're
Mm.
able to understand that accent. Slowly start going to difficult accent. Like British accent is a bit difficult, like the proper British accent. Go it at the end. There is a series, Bridgeton, in on Netflix. It's a British series. Okay, it goes back to older, like UK and their kings and queen. So the language they have used is a very British accent of the language, you know so maybe watch that at the end, see if you're able to understand the accent. Go on YouTube, search videos that Australian news. Now you'll find someone talking in Australian accent. Watch it with subtitles. That will help you to build that confidence. Okay, no matter whosoever is talking, even if I'm paying half attention to that person, I'm able to understand that accent. Are you getting my point?
My one question related to this whole you whatever you have just talked about. As a neutral person, not as a student or as an Indian or as a learner, as a tutor, just answer one question of mine. Learn the foreign accent. I mean,
Yeah.
because there are so many accents, you can't go ahead with all the accents. Like if you go, like I want to land up there somewhere in America, and then I should be familiar with American accent, or with the British accent, or an Australian accent. What is your take on it?
See,
Can't we go ahead with our own Indian accent?
See, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. There is no problem sticking to our own accent. I'm not telling you to develop an accent. You want to
Hmm.
talk in clear language, talk in clear
Understanding.
language.
You mean understanding that accent?
Exactly. I'm just telling you,
Okay.
it's not like as an English teacher, I have gone ahead, I go ahead and specially watch different accent videos so that I talk in that. It is just, to learn that I have achieved that level of language where I'm able to understand an accent with.
Understand all the right.
Are you getting my point? I'm
Got
not
it.
telling
Got it. Yeah.
so I mean, honestly, if you're able to understand one accent, if you have unlocked that part of the language where you're able to, you will be able to understand any accent, no
Got
doubt.
got got it. Got it.
For
Yes.
your practice, that okay, you might be neat. Why to it is. I'm not. You stick with your accent. There is no problem with it. Talk in that. It is just tomorrow if you meet someone with that accent, you should be confident enough that yes, I'm able to understand it. I don't have to
Hmm.
stop the person, or I don't have to ask the person to slow down. Are you getting my
Hmm.
point?
Got it. Got it.
So I'm
Hmm.
gonna end the session now. Is there any other question you want me to answer?
Are you comfortable with like if I upload this video onto YouTube?
No, I'm okay with
Because you're okay with it. Okay.
it. Okay.
Okay. So it's
Okay.
better to ask because we are meeting for the first time, and even when I booked the session, I did take a note of it, whether the symbol of YouTube was there or not. I simply go after, I went after your, name only. That, okay, let's talk to Angel. That was the only thing at the back of my mind. So I thought I should clarify this thing, because I used to, whenever I'm making these kinds of conversations, I upload those conversations onto YouTube.